Fun times.
Hello and welcome back. Tonight we are continuing the Clan War theme, and now we are watching the game that brought us up to Hurricane.
We're gonna do it standard, okay? I'm going to C.
We are facing TRSF, and although it's not as Stalin heavy as our last game, they still have 3 of them.
Yeah, the ones that we lost a stupid game to them.
Exactly.
So they will have a lot of radars, and will make it difficult for our DDs to get close to any of the caps.
Tears of the Desert and Mecca got blupped completely because
they also have 2 Henrys, which are great counters for both myself and Saul.
No, it was very different actually.
This time we decide to try and rush Revo into A from the middle, try and get the early cap.
Alright, so basically,
and if any other ship tries to push in, Revo should be able to torp them.
So if we get a DD and the cap in there, it should be pretty well done. Just torp one, torp
Thunder is capping C, and the rest of us are splitting up to get into position.
Stonkers they're gonna have on one side. They're gonna need a lot of that. Thunder, you can probably torp before you leave. Maybe you could have torped like towards this direction, you know? Oh, you don't have torps loaded.
No, it's not.
Oh, right. Oh, look at that.
We detect the first Stalingrad that will be going to the east side of the large island around the north side of A, preventing or radaring that side and preventing ideally anything from going into the cap. So Revo is forced to stop and hold back a bit, waiting for his radar to run out. We also see something quite unusual, which is that they're using the Curvers as their BB. A ship we very rarely see in Clan Wars. We see that enemy Yang is trying the same as Revo, but as Pref is radaring him, he is also forced to turn away and actually beach, giving us a bit of time to shoot at him.
We need that Yu Yang out of position to be able to do that.
17 seconds.
Yeah, I'm being shot. The Henrys are here. I'm gonna radar him if he goes down.
We also see that the enemy has a Stalingrad in B, and with him there's a Henry. Meaning we are right now missing 1 Stalin and 1 Henry. And it's a fair assumption that they will be going to the west side of A, but so far not detected, so we'll have to wait and see for certain. Revo and enemy Yang are still hanging around the entrance to A.
Dude, Stalingrad's going.
And we here see the second enemy, Henry. And there's also Stalin. So it is as expected. Now Revo is unfortunately forced to abandon, trying to get into A. And instead the enemy Yang will be able to go into A and cap it, putting us in an early disadvantage.
Andy, keep going.
Now if you have watched the last game I uploaded, you will know that this is our 4th game in the struggle towards Hurricane, and we are currently on 1 loss and 2 wins. So if we win this, we will advance to Hurricane, but if we lose, we still have 1 more shot at it.
Alright, I'm gonna turn back now.
Of course, getting the early cap advantage, or the enemy getting the early cap advantage, will obviously be something we need to try and deal with, because the getting into A after it has been capped is quite difficult if the team knows how to defend it properly.
Nice. Stalingrad is low.
So on this particular map, it is problematic to lose it.
Just stay at the edge of his radar.
Have to fires on that, Henry.
I could switch positions if you want, so.
Revo has stayed more or less in the middle, trying to torp the Stalingrads, and throughout the game he will actually get a couple of hits.
You're not going to be able to do anything on our side.
Me, Warlock, and Pref are trying to do as much damage as we can to the Henry, and here we see that the Kurfürst is coming to their aid. Over at the east side, Thunder is spotting for mainly Andy, and Soul is in the middle doing what he can. Now here we see the enemy gang leaving A. I assume they need him for spotting, but it does leave A open. Unfortunately for us, we are not really in a position where we can go into A. Reva's in the middle, and we have no DD on our side that can ideally try to sneak in. So far though, they are not putting in other ships inside. So at least for now it is open for us.
Go for it, go. Yeah, come.
I'm switching, so or should I turn back?
You may as well come this side. The Stalingrad over there is dealing with Andy and Torp.
Pref is switching side now.
I see that. I'm gonna E1.
So here will just be me and Warlock.
No, I'm not. Alright, that's fine.
Don't really have any ships that are detected right now, so I try to shoot at Stalin over at B, but he disappears and I just shoot anyway.
That's radar for the Yang, he's not here. Pref, if you manage, I want you to push up.
The enemy Yang is still
nothing to push in,
undetected,
up and push into the Stalingrad, whatever allows you.
not within radar range for Soul,
Past this side, I need you to push up.
so we don't know exactly what he's doing. Kurfürst starts opening up on me, and we see that he is starting to turn in, and he will actually be the one that will push into A cap.
He's gonna eat another torp if he keeps moving forward. No, he knows that our torpedoes are coming. Yeah, the DD.
I'm hoping that the Stalingrad over at the east side of A cap will push forward enough to me to shoot at him, but that isn't happening.
He's eating another one. He's dead.
But luckily he eats a couple of torps and we get the kill. Kurfürst is now rushing straight into the cap, so me and Warlock are just trying to do as much damage as we can, so that a DD or something else can, well, preferably a DD can go in and rush him and torp him.
Put something in the cap.
Stalingrad and Yu Yang are both going back to.
We are still losing though, even though we have the kill. The enemy has had an extra cap for most of the game, so every second they take a little bit closer to win.
Yu Yang is at I got 30 seconds until radar, so that's not happening.
Kurfürst is continuing to pushing, and we are continuing to try to deal as much damage as we can. We are ignoring Stalingrad and the Henry just to simply make it easier for our Eastern teammates to kill him later.
Once that Kerfus is in, between you two, you should be able to take a the Stalingrad or the Henry.
Henry's pushing.
As the Kerfus goes in, I start pushing full speed north. Hopefully to get a kill, but if nothing else to go into the cap. Because we are getting dangerously close to needing caps.
We need that Stalingrad dead. That's our #1 priority right now. Thunder,
you can see on the minimap that Thunder and Andy has managed to push themselves quite far north.
Yeah, the Kerfus, go in.
My turrets are for star.
Trying to push the Stalin and Henry away.
Well, we're gonna need you in the cap.
But it's still not possible for them to get to the cap. Thunder in the middle.
Come on, everybody in the Stalingrad. Everybody in the Stalingrad.
Unfortunately, launched the torps at the Stalingrad at B, so he cannot go into A and rush the curve first.
No, he's not.
Come on. Radar up. Stalingrad's pushing out. If he comes at you, Pref, you ram the shit out of him, okay? But we need that Stalingrad.
Now, strangely enough, the curve is actually pushing straight through A. Pref is there, and he's going for the ram. Thunder tried to stop him because he had torps ready, but it was too late by that point, and right now we need to increase the time we have in this game. So Pref will ram in and kill him, and I will go into the A cap.
Nice. Go into the cap.
The Stalingrad over at B is getting very low as well. And he goes down there as well.
I'm gonna help you with the Henry.
We are still at a disadvantage here, but I am getting into the cap to block it, and ideally take it and start giving us some points. I try to get my guns on the Henry and get some shots out, but at over 24 kilometers with speed boost activated, I can just gamble a bit. Stalingrad starts to push out to prevent me from getting the cap. I start trying to turn my guns on him, and Warlock is helping me by pummeling HE at him. We are still far from a win, but Andy managed to kill the second Henry.
Shoot.
And we are getting really close now. So what I will do is I will stay quiet and let you enjoy our happiness as we win and go to Hurricane.
Yeah, he is.
Yes!
Come on.
Stalingrad!
We've got it.
He should be dead. He should be dead.
Yes!
Hurricane!
Nice! Oh, thank God, I can't believe that happened.
Finally.
Oh my God.
Yes!
Yeah.
We're done. We're done.
Are you wet yet, guys?